Good agriculture practices for wheat cultivation. This informative video on wheat production technology is developed for the capacity building of small farmers under nutrition-sensitive component of Program for Improved Nutrition in Sindh funded by European Union. This video has 3 sessions that will be organized with small farmers keeping in view the different crop stages. Session 1. The session will be held in October, a month before crop cultivation, and covers up to first 45 days of the crop's life, that is up to tearing stage of wheat crop cultivation. Chart 1. Before discussing crop production technology of wheat, let's discuss importance of wheat. Wheat is the major staple food crop and is largely cultivated in all over Pakistan. Wheat is a source of carbohydrates, protein, vitamin, and other dietary minerals. Wheat is a widely consumed crop all over the world. Pakistanis consume wheat daily. But in Pakistan, per acre yield of wheat is less as compared to developed countries. Let's see the reason for low production of wheat in Pakistan. Causes of low wheat production. Poor planning, that is. A. Inappropriate time of sowing. B. Use of poor quality inputs. C. Lack of optimal financial resource. Lack of awareness about advanced methods of sowing. Land preparation. Seed treatment. Method of sowing. Foliar application. Imbalance use of fertilizer application. Weeds and pest infestation. Shortage of irrigation water. Post-harvest losses. No proper storage space. Let's now discuss the measures that need to be taken to improve wheat production. To ensure a seamless crop growing season, use a crop calendar for effective planning. The crop calendar is a visual representation of the different stages of the crop growing season. That is, seed sowing in the month of November. Seeding stage after 25 days of sowing. Tearing stage after 45 days of sowing. Jointing stage after 75 days of sowing. Heading stage after 95 days of sowing. Duff stage after 100 days of sowing. It is an effective tool to plan activities and ensuring that they are being performed at the right time. Mark the necessary dates of crucial activities on your calendar and display at a prominent place. Cropping patterns in Sindh. Wheat is grown in 2 cropping systems, such as cotton, wheat cotton, rice, wheat rice. Time of sowing. Sowing time is a critical factor. Planting the crop on time results in a higher yield. First to third week of November is the ideal time for sowing wheat. Planting afterwards, up to mid-December, can cause the yield to reduce drastically. Good quality seed. High quality seed gave better yields. Source of certified seed or seed produced by the farmer can be used. It should be properly cleaned and graded. The seed should be pure, healthy and free of disease and pest. Clean seed will not contain stones, soil or weed. Seeds pure would mean that the variety is consistent and not mixed with anything. Seed germination rate should not less than 85%. For seed germination analyses, soaking seed in a jute piece for 2 weeks is a recommended process. Choose the best variety seed. Select a variety that suits your growing conditions. For instance, it may not always give the highest yield but will be influenced by the availability of water, etc. Yemen, Sarang, Sasue, Sazabts and Bittai are the best wheat varieties for semi-drought conditions. Sasabs, Kruan and Bittai are good for semi-saline lands. Umbar, Kruan, Sazabts and T.J83 are good for late cultivation. Seed rate. For early sowing, use 50 kg per acre certified seed. For late sowing, use 60 kg per acre certified seed. In order to have a better production, always use quality seed from certified sources, such as Sindh Seed Corporation, Wheat Research Institute, Sakrand. Nuclear Institute of Agriculture, NIA, Tando Jam. Private seed companies. Farmer can also produce their own good quality seed. Seed Foundation Cell, Tando Jam. Seed dressings. Applying fungicidal seed treatment before sowing at the rate of 3 grams per kilogram seed is recommended. Land preparation. Wheat fields must be well leveled for a uniform and healthy crop that can compete with weeds, use less water, and higher yields. For this, zero-tillage technology is recommended. Overturn the soil by 3 times tractor plowings and later plank it to break the soil clods into smaller mass and incorporate plant residue. Field boundaries should be strong and rat holes must be closed. Improve soil health or green manuring. By continuous cultivation of different crops, soils become deficient in organic matter. To improve physical health of soil, cultivate Gera, Basim, and Jantar at least once in 3 years. Incorporation of rice and wheat straw in soil. Incorporation of 8-10 tons of farmyard manure. It is recommended 40-50 days before cultivation. Method of sowing. Number 1, raised bed planting method. It is an efficient irrigation technique. Number 2, wheat seed drill method. It is the best for wheat sowing. Number 3, broadcast sowing method. It is a traditional method and requires increased seed rate by 5%. Weed early. Weeds compete directly with the plants and reduce crop yield. If weeds are not controlled, then crops production can be reduced 14 to 25%. Commonly wheat crop weeds are Domesity, wild oats, Barthorn Lately, etc. Effective weed management. Always use certified and clean and weed-free seed. Manual weeding, that is hoeing, is the best strategy. Selective weedicides for broad and narrow-leaved weeds. Use wide-spectrum weedicides in case of both types of weeds. Herbicides and weedicides. Weedicides should be applied after first irrigation in good moisture condition when weeds are at second and third leaf stage. Proper quantity of weedicides with water should be needed. Herbicides are poisonous. These can cause health and environment problems, so proper care is needed. Avoid eating and smoking during spraying weedicides. Label them clearly and keep them out of children's reach. Use of fertilizer. Apply fertilizer on the basis of the soil testing report. After soil testing report, minerals and nutrients of the soil is calculated. Nitrogen is required for leaves growth, phosphorus is for root development and stem growth, and potassium is for plant immunity. Manure provides various nutrients to the plant. Inappropriate combination with nitrogen and phosphorus. Use organic fertilizer such as farmyard manure, compost, and straw husk. Lodging may occur in case of applying too much of fertilizer. Fertilizer application. For average soils, generally, 1.5 bag of DAP, and 2 to 3 bags of urea is recommended. Sandy soil and tube well irrigated soil will also require half to 1 bag of potash based on the findings of the soil testing report. Add the mixture of phosphorus, potash and half the quantity of nitrogen must be broadcast in the soil before sowing. The remaining half of the nitrogen is top dressed with the first or second irrigation. Session 2. In this session, we will learn about irrigation stages, weed and pest management and control of diseases. The session will be held in December and covers from jointing stage, that is 46th day to duff. Use water efficiently. Wheat crop requires 4 to 5 irrigations at different stages of growth. There are 3 critical stages, which increase crop yields, grain quality as well as improving the efficiency of other inputs such as fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. First irrigation normally 20 to 25 days after sowing. To maximize water use efficiency, maintain the bunds and level the fields. Tearing stage. Jointing stage. Heading stage. Zinc fortification. Pakistani soils are generally low in zinc, and zinc deficiency in food leads to micronutrients deficiency in human being. Through zinc application, two benefits are achieved. The resulting yield increases and zinc-enriched flour is beneficial for health. Zinc application. Zinc application is possible by two methods. Application of 10 kg of zinc sulfate per acre is recommended at the time of land preparation only once. For 1 acre, prepare a solution of 350 grams zinc sulfate, add 1 kg of urea in 100 liters of water and use twice at 15 days interval at booting stage. Diseases. Rusts, smuts, powdery mildew and septoria diseases are significantly harming that reduce the yield of wheat and quality of the produce. As a precautionary measure, use resistant varieties and seed treatment. Do not over-apply fertilizer. Session 3. In this session, we will learn about best harvesting time and techniques, and avoid post-harvesting losses. The session will be held in February. Harvesting. Harvesting of wheat starts in March and it should be started in time in order to avoid post-harvesting losses. Post-harvest losses and measures to avoid these losses. Shattering. Over-drying in harvesting may result in shattering and damage by rodents, birds and by dispersing wind, hence harvest the crop on time. Standing crop loss. Because of carelessness and oversight, some plants are left standing in the field after harvesting, hence take measure to avoid this practice. Stacking or piling. The earheads should face upwards, so as to prevent losses from periphery damage by animals etc., ensuring the panicles do not touch the ground or lay in water. Delayed threshing. Losses may occur if threshing is delayed. For example, untimely rains and fast winds. As a good practice, harvesting in morning and threshing in afternoon on the same day is recommended. Cleaning. Clean the grain properly after threshing. Threshing yards should be cleaned thoroughly and be free from soil cracks. Threshing loss. Thrasher operator must be skilled and use the proper machine settings, that is, grains must not mix with straw or chaff during threshing. Ensure that threshing is not done during high wind velocity. Drying. Sun drying the grains on tarpaulins or clean drying pads as soon as possible after threshing. Turning or stirring the grains at least once every hour when sun drying to achieve uniform drying is a good practice, keeping the thickness of the grain layer at 3 to 5 centimeters. Hauling. Substantial losses also occur during lying of wheat bundles and transportation from field to the threshing yard. Store safely. A safe storage system will prevent the grain from getting wet after drying and also give protection from insects, rodents, and birds. Grain is protected from re-wetting by rain or from the surrounding air. Wheat grain should not have the moisture content higher than 9 to 12%. Produce can be stored for longer periods if. Always use new gunny bags for storage and placed systematically in lines. The storing location should be cleaned, elevated, and airtight condition. The storing location should not have the entrance place for foreign animals such as dogs, cats, rodents etc. For home consumption, avoid direct chemical use. Add neem leaves in gunny bags to avoid any grain pest attack during storage. After rainy season, the store should be fumigated and if possible, the grain may be sun-dried to maintain the proper moisture percentage. Sealed or hermetic storage systems are an effective means of controlling grain moisture content and insect activity. Chart 20. Prices of wheat. Every year, government announces wheat support price and you should not sell your wheat on lesser price than the support price. Chart reductions. Farmers can produce pure, healthy and quality seed of approved crop varieties at their own farms by following the given instructions. Selection of field. Select a field at a farm which is free from soil-borne diseases. crop varieties, only the recommended varieties should be cultivated. Isolation. For seed purpose, different varieties should not be grown adjacent to each other to avoid outcrossing. Protection from insects, pests, diseases and weeds. Crop must be fully protected through cultural practices and pesticide use. The seed must not be infected from a previously affected field. Irrigation and fertilization. Irrigation and fertilizer requirements of the fields intended for seed production should be fulfilled at all times and at all cost. Rootting. Plants of other varieties should be uprooted from the field. Removal of undesired plants from seed crop is necessary for seed purification. Best rootting time is when all the spikes of crop have emerged. Harvesting. Do not harvest seed crop with combines to avoid admixture. The thresher should be cleaned before and after threshing of every variety of wheat to maintain varietal purity. Threshing. Threshing floor should be kept clean during harvesting and threshing operations. Drying. The moisture contents of the seeds for storage should not be more than 10 to 12%, and for that purpose spread seed on clean floor for drying. Cleaning. Use seed grader for separating shriveled, cut, small size, mud clods and other contaminants from the seed lot. Storage. After drying and cleaning, seed should be packed in bags, labeled and stored properly. Name of the variety should be written on the bags. Store should be fumigated before seed storage.